We are in step 19.5. We will use the average, minimum, and maximum functions. The purpose will be um, to learn about the statistical functions. When working with data, you can find the average of data, you can find the minimum value of data, and also the maximum value of data. So let's go ahead and get started by opening up step 19.5 from your lesson 19 data files. And you have a spreadsheet that has the 7 days of week and the temperatures for the week. We need to save our document as weather. Okay, so at the bottom of our spreadsheet, we have average temperatures for the week. We will find the lowest daily temperature for the week and the highest daily temperature for the week, the most snowfall for the week, and the number of days that were recorded. Alrighty, so the first thing we need to do is select cell B11 and we will find the average temperature for the week. So click on Formulas tab, find Auto Sum, drop down, select your average, and for the average, notice it proposed B10, which is not correct. So what we will do is simply click in cell B2 because we want our range to start there and drag down to cell B8. And notice it updated the proposed range within the parentheses. Press enter to accept, and the average temperature for the week is 9 degrees on the low side. Okay, so now that we have our formula to find our average, we can simply autofill to find the average high temperature. And the average high temperature, let's look at the formula. It updated as average, and the range is C2 through C8, which gives us a high temperature of 24. So let's find the low temperature for the week. So let's click in B12 and go back to Auto Sum, drop down on your arrow, and because we are seeking the lowest daily temperature, we want to find the minimum value for the week, the minimum temperature, which is the lowest for the week. So let's click minimum, and notice the proposed argument is B10 through B11, but again, we don't want to accept that, so we'll simply click in cell B2, drag down to B8. Notice it updated our range, press enter. And let's just look at the low temperature week, and it looks like -2 is actually the lowest temperature, and there you go. Alright, so instead of using the autofill handle to drag over, let's copy and paste. Right click, copy. Let's click in cell C12 and paste. So we were looking for the lowest high temperature for the week, and we copied and pasted our formula. Notice that it updated the minimum value for C column. And if you look in our C column, 16 is actually the lowest temperature for the week. Alright, so let's go to column. Let's find the highest daily temperature for the week. We are looking for the highest. So go back to Auto Sum, drop down. And because we're seeking the highest, we want to find the maximum value. So click on maximum value. Again, it proposed B10 through B12. We don't want to accept that. Let's click on our range B2 through B8. It updated for the maximum value and enter. And if you look, the lowest temperature, the highest temperature for the low week is 18. And 18 is what we have. Let's drag it over. And in our high temperature week, the highest value was 31. And if you notice, 31 is the highest temperature for the week. Okay, so now we need to find the most snowfall for the week in cell D14. So let's go back to the auto sum button and click on maximum. And notice our argument is D2 through D13. And because D9 through D13 is blank, we can go ahead and accept the proposed range by pressing enter. And the most snowfall that we received, it tells us is 4.8. If you scroll down your list, notice that 4.8 is the most snowfall that you received in that week. Alright, so the last thing we want to find is the number of days recorded. So we know that we have a week's worth of days, which is 7 days. But to get the formula, you want to go back to auto sum, and can you guess what the argument will be? Hopefully you said count numbers, because we are counting our days. The proposed is B10 through B15, which is not right. We want to simply count days. So we can just select all the days in our B column. We're counting and press enter. And we know that there are 7 days that we recorded data. So you just learned how to use the average function, the minimum and maximum function to compute the values in your spreadsheet. Go ahead and save this step, and I will see you back on step 6.